This isn't my car, and this isn't my garage, but it is supercharged, and it is a kit car.
Thank you very much for joining me for another episode of Tea and Biscuits. If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, please subscribe and take a look at my other videos, because there's some cracking stuff going on at the moment. I'm either in the garage, beavering away, trying to get my car ready for its rolling road and modifying it where possible, but I'm also visiting subscribers. Like today, where I'm on my way to see a subscriber and to see what he's up to in his garage and what he's building. And it's a right treat. So sit down with a cup of tea and a biscuit and enjoy yourself. Welcome to Tea and Biscuits. We are doing something a bit special and different this week because I'm with Jason, who is one of our subscribers. You may have seen him comment. He very kindly welcomed me up to his garage where he's got a low cost, which we're going to have a look around. You may have seen him on Low Cost Builders as well. You did a build blog, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Which is why I recognised your car before. And his garage is a lot nicer and better than mine as well. We've got things like bridge ports in here, which is always cool. So, Jason, thank you very much for taking time out.
Oh, very welcome.
Do you want to just tell us about you, your car, the journey, what you're trying to achieve, and where you've got to?
So, started off back in the Max Power days, always messing around with little grot boxes, trying to make them faster, trying to make them more flash. Got me into driving fast, because of course we could never afford anything fast, so it was learn to drive slow cars fast.
Yeah.
And then finally progressed up, got a few faster cars. And I thought, no, it wasn't enough for me.
What sort of cars? What was in the Max Power days?
Yeah, it's always Novas, and then it'd be dropping a Vectra lump in it, or drop a Cavalier lump in it, and then it's I'll put a V6 in it, and I'll put a turbo on it.
Oh yeah, okay. So you was well in the well in the mix with it.
Yeah, and then it was get the little XR2 Fiestas and drop Mondeo ST 200 lumps in them, and it was chaos.
Body kits.
Oh yeah.
Crazy spray jobs.
Completely smoothed off, spray jobs, the whole lot.
Boot installs.
Scoops. Yeah, boot installs, yeah. Yeah, that's something that's never died with me. If you weren't shaking windows, you weren't doing it right.
Yeah, nice. What make are these?
They're DB Audio.
Oh, okay. So
15s. I could never afford fast cars. Back when I first started driving, it's like, well, if I can't afford speed, I might as well go for the sound.
So was you going for like SPL stuff?
Oh, yeah. Literally every car I ever had, back seats out and just half-wall them, or put like a 6-order in the back or something like that. Your hair's got to move, your clothes have got to move.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw in one of my previous episodes, which you should check out by the way, when I went to Santa Pod, they had the SPL competition. I haven't seen one of them for years. And so we was a good 100 odd metres away, and someone kind of wound down the window and pumped it up, and my son was like, "Oh, what's that?" And as always, it's like a magnet, isn't it? You kind of go, and then kind of want to go and see what the noise is.
But when you're out at a car meet, it's good when you can tell which one of your mates is pulling up when you can't see them. It's just like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, finally sort of started progressing up the ladder on cars, and I got bored of the computer driving the car. I had the BMWs and the Audis and everything else, and you go into a corner and it's just like, right, the computer will sort it out for me. And I didn't enjoy that. So I thought, right, I'll go back to basics, do something a bit fun where I'm actually in control of the car. Started looking at your usual routes, MX-5s, the old Porsches, things like that, and it's just nothing tick the boxes. So I thought I'd get a low cost. I was actually originally looking at Westfield, but overnight the prices seemed to double on them.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Went crazy. Westfield for a while, they were not as expensive. Caterhams were always up there. Westfields were kind of in the mix with like MKs and your Mach 1s and your Robins and all your other kind of stuff. And then they just, for whatever reason, I think they kind of got professional.
Yeah.
started winning races and kind of shot up.
Yeah, the price on them went mad. So it's like, all right, well, get a low cost. So I found the chassis for this one. It's very part built on eBay for about 200 quid.
Oh wow.
So went and got it, threw it on the back of my mate's flatbed, brought it back, decided I didn't like any of it. So I cut out pretty much the whole front end, cut out all the back end. Started looking for a donor, couldn't find anything I liked. And I thought, oh, I'll do a BMW donor. Then Craig off Low Cost Builders was doing his build. And I thought there's no way I can compete with that because his level of detail was phenomenal. So I thought, right, well, I haven't seen a Mercedes engine one. So I had a look online, found a CLK compressor, literally 10 miles from my house, up for 275 quid. Brought it back. Turns out the plate when it was worth 600 quid. So I was in the money already.
Superb.
Stripped it all out and started grafting it into this, and then spent about another 5 years trying to get bits to fit around it all.
Yeah.
Because every job on it sort of resulted in 3 more jobs.
Lots of really nice fabrication work on here, which we'll kind of get into in a bit. I think the chassis work that you're doing is, you know, not necessarily copycatting stuff that's been done in the past. I like the way that you're kind of rethinking some stuff.
A lot of it is sort of necessity. It's like, I've cut that out, now that doesn't fit, so I've got to find something that does fit.
Yeah.
Which has been a headache. We're even moving the supercharger from the offside to the near side.
Oh, okay, so it's not normally on that side.
No, it's usually on the other side, but
Okay.
with the engine mount, steering column and the exhaust manifold,
Being that side.
yeah, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, well, I've already lost the power steering pump and the ABS pump and everything else, so I've got a big hole on the other side, so I stuck it in there.
Seems natural, doesn't it? And it's the cool side as well in many
Exactly.
ways. So it's superchargers get hot, but they don't need to be tucked underneath exhausts.
Exactly that.
Which is wise. And you've got a tiny little alternator on here, I noticed.
It's a Komatsu digger or something that's come off of. Yes, it's tiny.
Hasn't got to drive much, unless you start putting 15s in the boot.
No, that might mess around with my power to weight ratio.
Yeah, it may well do. It may well do. So on the max power stuff, I always have a rant, right? Because we already discussed that I was quite heavily into the scene as well.
Yeah.
Went Ace Cafe, I had boot installed with plaques with my name on it, you know, literally installed by Wayne, you know, from Autolec and stuff. And so, and they were good days. And then kind of the ASBO and stuff come in, and people were messing around in car parks. But I strongly believe that the police, the government, the councils completely went the wrong way with that.
They did.
They killed a whole industry. You think at that point, like, all the people that were doing, like, I worked for a shop, we were doing installs, we were doing trackers, we were doing alarms, we were doing undercar neons, we were doing, you know, supporting people with body kits, all the custom work. It was a whole industry, which basically the arse just fell out of it once people couldn't get together and show each other their cars.
They should have just given us somewhere to go.
So we've got, this is from a C200 Merc, still got the same original supercharger on it in terms of you haven't gone for a bigger one.
No, it's still got the M45 on it. It's been all bored out though on the insides, completely rebuilt. It's now got the custom top hat on it because the original was horrific for flow. It's had the silencer plate removed out of it as well, and the vent bungs welded up in it.
Yep.
So it's M111 2.3 compressor lump. Pretty much nothing left standard on it now. So literally done the supercharger. I have got an M112.
What were they off of? What were they off of?
Off Jag.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have got one of those tucked away to go on it after the IVA and the emissions issues.
And it should be able to fit in size wise?
Yeah, because they're a longer snout, so I can keep the snout where it is,
Yeah.
move that engine mount back, and then it buys me up a great big chunk of room in there.
Yeah.
Which then it will be sort of 350, 360 horsepower going off of another one that's been built.
Lovely.
Which should be good, but then again, he hadn't ported any of his head out or anything, so...
Oh, okay, so you've had some head work done.
Oh, it's all been port matched on the head, custom inlets, Saab turbo injectors, 5-bar fuel pressure regulator. It's got a 3-inch Integra throttle body on it, bigger intercooler, 2.5-inch boost pipes. That's pretty much every bolt-on bit I can do on it I've done.
Yeah, a custom exhaust manifold
Yeah,
as well.
that's
I don't
Mark
know what
IV.
the original ones looked like, but I bet they weren't as nice and flowing
It
as
was
that.
a cast iron log.
Yeah,
They were horrendous.
Yeah.
So that's all done now. Big collector on it, 6-inch diameter can. It's got Merc diff, Merc shafts, Merc brakes. Merc brake discs on the back because they work with the 4-pot wheel woods. but just to keep it easier for finding parts. So now I can just go into any car shop and buy replacement parts for it. Front's got Rally Design aluminium uprights.
Yep.
A quick rack from a Sierra. It's just all bolt-on pieces, really.
Yeah, nice. And I was admiring your loom, because I do like a decent loom.
Oh my god.
And it's nice that you've actually spent the time to not insulate and tape up and actually fabric wrap up.
Yeah.
And you know, cut things generally to the right length. It's going to be a pain if you ever got to splice something in or you know, find a fault, but it's just them little bits, right?
Well, this is it. I mean, I was looking at all the pre-built looms and everything, but then nothing ran where I wanted it to run. So it's like, well, okay, I'll just make my own one. So I've got the 20 odd circuit relay box from Car Builder Solutions.
Is it in here?
Yeah. And literally just run all the cables to where it needs to go. So yeah, next one is the ECU loom. That's going to be the fun one because that's got 120 pin outs or something like that.
ECU going to fit into this box as
No,
well?
ECU's going up on the inside of the scuttle panel.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do like a drop down door in there.
Yeah.
So you can just drop it down, plug it in.
ECU wise, you're going to run aftermarket?
Yeah, I'm going for the Max ECU Pro Sport something or other. It's got all the features on it. It's got launch control and
I was going to say launch control, because it's just depending how fast you spin the supercharger will be the kind of boost really, unless you have like a electronic bleed off or something.
Yeah, I could swap the bypass valve for an electric one and run it that way, but it's just headache. I just want to try and keep it simple.
I'm a bit worried about the boost on mine. I want it to run as much as possible, but I'm a little bit worried of how much boost it's going to make. So I've actually just bought from Forge, I think it was, a adjustable blow-off valve with the adjustable diaphragms and springs. So if I need to, I can just let that bleed off a little bit. But my intention is obviously to let it climb and ride as much as possible.
Oh, definitely.
Otherwise, it's a bit of a wasted effort, but it's just as an extra safety thing.
That's the problem with the M45s. After sort of 240, 250 horsepower, they just become space heaters. They're just so inefficient, which is why I want to swap for the bigger one.
Yeah, I had one of these sitting in my garage for years. I bought it relatively cheap, and it was one of the later revisions where they had the Teflon coating on the...
Same as that.
Yeah, and and I was going to use that, but again, the efficiency of them just didn't seem great.
Definitely not.
And I wanted a 250, 300 if I can get there, and it was right on the limits.
Yeah. Well, people have run these, that engine with that charger to 270, but that is really maxing it out. But, so it's literally to get through the IVA, and then the bigger one can go on there.
Yeah, just get the people nodding at the right times about what bits you got fitted, and then
exactly.
Should be good.
Yeah.
So this is another push for you, hopefully to get this closer to the road.
The final push.
Final push, but
hopefully.
you've still got a lot of optimism for, like you were saying about doing carbon fibre bodywork for it and stuff. I mean, it's a massive project you've got on.
Well, I was looking at getting a new body panel set for it, and it was coming up at nearly £2,000 for some old fiberglass. It's like, well, I might as well just make my own and cast my own. And I thought, well, if I'm going to cast one out of fiberglass, I might as well cast it out of carbon.
Yep.
That's the plan with that. Just get this body on there, get it somewhere about right, use that to make a female mould, then just mould off that.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
Yeah, for the old sound system days.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I did take something off one of your videos that I've sealed up round between the rad and the intercooler so the air can't get out with the foil tape.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yep.
Yeah, I never thought about that. It's like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that.
Yeah, here and down the side here.
Yep.
Yeah, that will definitely make a difference. Yeah, you want to try and get them as close as you can. I don't know if there's an optimal distance or whether you get them really close and then it's problematic. Yeah. But it was something that I read in one of these engine builders books.
Yeah.
What you don't want is it going through one and then hitting the second rad, which is say this far apart.
Yeah.
Pretty extreme, but this far apart, because it's almost it's considered as another barrier, and it'll build up its own frontal pressure and just explode. So you won't get...
Instead of getting the flow through.
Yeah, where if you get them really close together and then kind of seal them up, it'll just shoot straight through both. A lot quicker and better. So
every day's a school day.
that's it. And I'm not necessarily saying that kind of my way's the right way at all. You know, I'm learning the same as everyone else. So
common sense prevails. If it seems right, the chances are it is right.
Yeah, very much so. Are you going to stick with these wheels?
Yeah.
What ones are they?
Limited edition magnesium wheel for Mercedes. Well, the actual genuine Mercedes ones. But they come off of an obscure year SLK whatever from another country, and they're only 5 kilos each, or
Wow.
5.2 kilos each.
There's five studs, aren't they?
Yeah, 5 by 112.
Size 15s.
15s, yeah.
So what have we got going on in here then? So we got like an isolator here.
Yeah, it still needs to be finished off properly. So got Mercedes diff underneath, double wishbones, which need revising because someone forgot to measure the width of the coilovers. So I need to do some work on the upper wishbones to clear there.
Oh right, it's going to hit on that cross member there.
Yeah, so originally it did come down on a steeper angle, so they were nearly horizontal, but I didn't like it, so I wanted to drop them down a bit. So I've got to either notch that bar out and make it curved underneath, or move something around on it.
Yeah.
Job for another day.
With your shocks at that angle, I don't know if you've looked into the trade-off of that.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously a like wheel up movement ratio to how much that's compressing is not very much.
No, it's not.
So you're going to have like, I think you'll probably have like really stiff springs and highly damp strength dampers
to
compensate for it. Where if you had a more vertical and in line with that radius, that
because the
bump.
other option I had was to.
And you're happy with that? I mean, do you think that's within range?
Before I welded that brace in and I had the coilovers on, it did actually work quite nicely. I mean, I am going to take it to Pro Comp or whoever and just say, make a set for that, because the ones I've got are old gas ones and they're well knackered. So I'm just going to literally get it to where I need it to be, take it to them, say, there you go, I need that.
I learnt something the other day about, been talking to Northampton Motorsport, and he was saying that one of the problems, because I was saying about fuel filter, fuel pump, you know, is it pushing enough? And he was saying, well, what order do you have? Like, is it fuel tank, fuel filter, fuel pump out? Or do you have two filters, one either side of the pump, or do you have one just after the pump, between pump and engine? And he was saying that most filters are designed to be, fuel pumps push, they don't kind of pull. And he said, so a common mistake that they've seen is that they put a fuel filter in and they think they need to filter pre-pump. No. But, you know, you just need a big gauze to just collect like really big bits. You need the fine filter before the injectors, so between pump and engine. And he was saying, well, one of the problems that, you know, could be is that if your filter's beforehand, it's trying to pull through a very fine gauze mesh.
Pressure the pump.
And it's causing problems with the pump. And I think that's the case with mine. Having a quick look at it, I will have a dig into it a bit more. But it looks like that I've got a post-pump filter beforehand, so my pump might be struggling. You were the only person that put your screen thing in, so you have got a custom Tea and Bizz-Kits trophy.
Very much. That's going to go on my keepsake shelf indoors.
Well, gather dust until you get bored of it and then throw it away. I don't know.
That's thank you.
That's all right. So I've modelled. I mean, this is completely custom, one-off. I didn't try and fit your full name in.
You need a bigger cup.
I didn't even try. So. So Jay's got a #1 subscriber, Tea and Bizz-Kits. Tea and Bizz-Kits, look at that, see?
Me and Jason went on for hours covering so many topics, but we just can't fit it all in this episode, so unfortunately some of that got chopped out. But it was a great pleasure meeting Jason, and thank you very much for inviting me up to your garage to have a look around your car. It's really impressive, some of the work that you're doing there, and I wish you the best of luck with getting that built up, IVA'd and on the road. So coming up on the next episode, I'm fortunate enough to join Jamie and Sean as they take their cars on track at Snetterton on a track day evening. Both of the cars are really nice, well prepped and super fast bike engine cars. So tune into the next episode where we actually get to see some cars move. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in to Tea and Bizz-Kits.